Priests, rabbis, and other religious leaders will soon become mandatory reporters of child abuse under legislation signed into law this morning. The bill signing marks the peak of a debate between people who say this is needed to protect children and those fearful the move could infringe on people's religious freedoms. Under Senate Bill 5375, members of the clergy will now be required to tell police if they suspect any harm has been done to a child, much like doctors, teachers, and other professions. Clergy would have to make a report even if they learned that information during a confession or other sacred confidence, but would not be compelled to testify in court. The bill was driven by sexually abused members of the Catholic and Jehovah's Witnesses faiths coming forward saying the state needed to close a loophole that allows abuse to go unreported.
It really said the church is not above the law. No one is above the law, especially when it comes to protecting children. And that was a big win also.
This is the third time the bill has been attempted, with a large sticking point around whether or not to exempt information learned from confession from mandatory reporting. Opponents expressed concern that the bill would pin clergy between following the law and following their spiritual obligations. They also argued it would be an unconstitutional limit on one's ability to freely practice religion. Governor Bob Ferguson says even as a Catholic himself, the legislation was pretty straightforward.
My uncle was a Jesuit priest for many years, been in confession myself, and so I'm very familiar with that. But no, I felt this was important legislation, and protecting kids is first priority.
The law will go into effect July 26th.